When I was first getting into watch collecting, I had no idea what watch I wanted to start my journey with, until I found this, the Seiko SBSC009 GMT. Today I'm going to be reviewing my first automatic watch and explain to you why I think this Seiko 5 GMT is the best GMT watch you can get under $500. Let's get into it. So let's do a rundown on the specs of this watch. This watch has an automatic Seiko caliber 4R34 movement with a 41-hour power reserve. It's got a time, date, and GMT function with a case diameter of 39.5 millimeters and a thickness of 13.6 millimeters. It's made of stainless steel. It's got a 24-hour GMT bezel on it. Crystal's Hardlex, which is Seiko's proprietary mineral crystal. And this one in particular has the white dial with bold legible indices that are actually mirror finished and an orange GMT hand. It has water resistance of 100 meters. It's got a stainless steel bracelet with a push down deployant clasp. It's got a push down crown, not screw down, an exhibition case back, and LUME on the hands and indices. So if you're like me, you're probably wondering, what drew me to this watch? I fell in love with this watch's style and overall vibe, and I think the watch looks familiar without being derivative and is unique to Seiko. It's based on the SNK line from Seiko, which is why the dial has 24-hour markers in addition to the standard 12-hour marker set. However, in day-to-day use, you don't really notice those 24-hour markers on the dial. The steel bezel and the white dial pay a great homage to the Rolex Explorer 2 without straight-up copying it, and I think it gives the watch a very cool aesthetic of being able to go anywhere and do anything without drawing attention to itself, just like the Rolex Explorer 2 does. Now, while I think the original bracelet on this watch was fine and it looked okay with the overall design of the watch, I wanted something a little more subtle and swapped it over with this 3-link oyster style bracelet from Islander Watches. The watch does feature drilled lugs, which makes swapping straps on this thing an absolute breeze. Let me tell you, I think this thing is an absolute strap monster. I wear it mostly on the bracelet or on NATO straps, and I think it can be dressed up or down relatively easily depending on what strap you throw on it. Let's chat about the elephant in the room. So, Seiko sells the SSK023 and 035 in the American market and does not sell the SBSC009 in the American market. However, you're able to pick it up from a Japanese seller on websites like eBay or Chrono24 and have it shipped directly to your house from those different websites. So you're probably also wondering, why did I get this and not the SSK001 dive style GMT watch from Seiko? And for me, this felt more my style and more unique to what I was looking for. This watch has the same specs as that watch, but it has the design I was looking for, being a field style watch with the added function of the GMT movement. So this watch has what's called a Caller GMT, and essentially what this means is the GMT hand moves independently of the local hour hand, making it ideal for tracking a second time zone. So as you can see here, when I turn the crown, it moves that GMT hand independent of the local hour hand. In contrast, a Flyer GMT lets you jump the local hour hand independently without actually stopping the watch, which some people think is more convenient for travelers who change time zones frequently. Essentially, this Caller GMT is better for staying put and checking another time zone, while that Flyer GMT is designed for actually flying in between those different time zones. For me personally, I travel a lot, so having a Flyer GMT is really convenient, but on a day-to-day basis where I work from home, it makes a lot of sense to have a Caller GMT to be able to track what time zone it is with my clients in other time zones, so that way I can conveniently look and see, oh, they're actually an hour behind or 2 hours ahead or something like that, versus having to go and independently set my local hour hand on those Flyer GMT movements. The lume on this watch is strong, with the evenly applied lume across the hands and indices, and it glows all the way through the night. So, do I think this watch is perfect? No. There are a couple things that I don't necessarily love with it out of the box, but you can either choose to work with those or change things as you see fit. First off, I love the bracelet that comes on the watch. It's a little too busy for the design of overall watch. It's jangly, it's difficult to change, it's difficult to size, and it's just not the greatest quality bracelet, including the clasp. I'm not a huge fan of the Hardlex crystal. It's not necessarily a bad thing, but it does scratch relatively easy compared to a sapphire crystal. I've already scuffed my crystal by just brushing against a doorway lightly, so That's a little bit frustrating, and the movement is not as accurate as I would like. It loses this specific piece on my wrist about 15 seconds a day, and while that's well within Seiko specs, it's not as accurate as I would hope it would be. And this is a typical Seiko thing across all of their models. I just wish that they were a little bit more accurate out of the box. However, 15 seconds a day isn't a total deal breaker for me. So I guess the final question is, would I recommend this watch? And my answer is a resounding yes. If you're looking for a cool looking field style watch and want a GMT movement for under $500, then this watch is perfect for you. And for me, this watch had everything I wanted and needed in a first automatic watch. An iconic brand in Seiko with tried and true movements, a unique and versatile design, and a relatively low barrier to entry. This was a watch that served a lot of functions for me, and I know will serve a lot of functions for a lot of people. If you want this exact model, you need to do a bit of searching, as it's a JDM-only model, but they're relatively easy to find online, and just be sure you do your research of the seller before you pull the trigger. So what are your thoughts on this watch? Let me know in the comments, and I hope to catch y'all in the next review.